developers have been looking at ways to generate electricity from the Severn Estuary since the 1920s. At 14 metres, the estuary has the second highest tidal range in the world. A 16-kilometre barrage across it could meet nearly 5% of Britain's electricity needs, developers say. That's more power than is currently generated by all the country's renewable energy sources combined. The government rejected the idea in 1989, but now it's announced a reappraisal.
The most significant change, I think, is that carbon-free renewable electricity is really very much more important now than it ever has been in the past.
But doubts remain. To maximise efficiency, the barrage has to trap water at high tide.
As the high tide comes up the Bristol Channel, it goes through the sluices in the barrage and fills the basin upstream. So then, when the tide's gone down outside, we can then let the water out through the barrage, generating hydroelectric power.
And that means flooding what is a unique habitat protected by UK and European law. The estuary's mudflats attract upwards of 65,000 wintering birds, many of them rare, each year.
In the pools on the edge there's a few teal and widgeon, which are the first of the wintering ducks to come back. These bird numbers are building up day by day, and soon they'll be here with over 10,000 ducks of these species up and down the length of the estuary.
In the past, wildlife protection groups successfully fought the barrage proposals. But as the need to combat climate change becomes ever more urgent, the idea now pits greens against greens. Earlier this month, a new report by the UK Sustainable Development Commission strongly recommended building the barrage. Many environmentalists now argue that reducing carbon emissions must take precedence over protecting wildlife.
No, I am saddened by the perversity of environmental groups who object on ecological grounds to the erection of the Severn barrage. You see, climate change will produce ecological damage far in excess of anything that the barrage itself will do.
Of course, anti-barrage campaigners don't see their position as perverse.
Climate change is a serious threat to wildlife. I agree with that. But do I think this barrage will stop climate change? No way. There are ways of generating renewable energy without destroying wildlife at a grand scale.
Many of those who oppose the barrage advocate instead a series of smaller schemes known as tidal lagoons. They say these could generate as much electricity as the barrage without ruining the ecosystem. But as debate rages as to whether these really would work, the clock is ticking. The EU's member states have pledged to generate 20% of their electricity from renewable sources by 2020.